things where you get to prove yourself, right?
Yep, this is a quick recording of me trying to cash the World's Play-In game. This is Team WE versus Lyon Gaming on the first day of play-in for this World Championship. I have not watched the specifics of this game, but I've heard Team WE won all 4 games in play-ins. So we will see how much of a challenge Lyon Gaming gave to WE on the first day. It hasn't been into the game yet. I'm still waiting for them to go into pick and ban phase. I believe WE is still like a stronger team. I've seen a few of their games from MSI, also in the LPL region. Yes, they stretch games out because of their indecisiveness, but like their late game team fight based on their AD carry is like really on point. Although I haven't really seen the games of Lyon Gaming, I don't know if team from one of these lower regions can match this high level of team fighting, because a lot of the lower regions rely on like team fighting tactics rather than macro gaming. And if they lose on the team fight as well, in addition to the macro gaming, I'm not sure if Lyon Gaming can give Team WE any struggles here. Another thing is, I really want to know what Lyon Gaming wants for that bottom lane matchup, because I believe winning the bottom lane matchup for Lyon Gaming is like a really crucial point in winning the game. Because if Mystics gets put behind and Condi proves ineffective, then WE is like a really helpless team. At least it feels like it. And WE put in a Rek'Sai ban, followed by Lyon Gaming banning Kalista. Kalista has traditionally been like a really good ban on the red side, because otherwise the blue side first picks it, and no one wants to see a pro player playing Kalista. She's a really strong lane bully. You said Sejuani's also banned, so these are all these early game aggressive junglers being banned off the table. Neither team wants to see these early game junglers, because WE knows that they're good at late game team fights, and Lyon Gaming does not want WE to early snowball either. The Jarvan ban, not a bad ban. He's been a really good early game top laner recently. Tristana ban for WE, and WE first picks this Xayah. Now Lyon Gaming kind of has to take Rakan, otherwise WE's bottom lane is just going to take the Xayah and Rakan pair. But they take the Braum. Audie's going to take Kayn, which I don't think is really a good pick here. They kind of need an engage. And so they're going to take Maokai. I'm assuming this Maokai is jungler, because like 957 can prove to be like a really aggressive top laner that can snowball with like aggressive laning picks such as Kled. And with a lot of strong top lane picks open, I don't think Lyon Gaming wants to opt Maokai, who is a really good tank, but is still relatively weak, to just go top lane. Unless WE wants to draft Cho'Gath like they just did. Now the Janna's open, but at the same time Rakan's also open. Janna's a really good support with the Ardent Sensor right now. It can disengage against a lot of the engaged Lyon Gaming wants, and so that's what WE is going to take. They don't want the engage in their comp yet. They want to get rid of the Maokai, as in they don't want the Maokai to stick onto Mystic. And Lyon Gaming, they're taking the Kog'Maw, interestingly. I mean, Kog'Maw is like a really, really good AD carry right now. But I don't know if they want the Kog'Maw because he's like really immobile and fragile. If WE tries to draft like a jungler with like a really good engage and can stick onto the AD carry, it's gonna be hard for him to do much. I believe Lyon Gaming could have drafted like a Twitch. Tristana was banned, but another tier 1 carry that's like slightly less dependent on the team. So now, mostly mid lane bans that are coming in right now. Karma, LeBlanc. This is basically a mid lane battle. I believe WE is gonna put in another mid lane ban here. Syndra's still open. Corki's still open. And Galio gets banned. I'm not sure why the Galio ban came in, since WE already had most likely as a Cho'Gath top. I think they were worried that they might have a Galio mid or a Cho'Gath jungle and a Galio top. I'm not entirely sure about Lyon Gaming's last ban. I think it feels a bit iffy. I feel like they could have put in another mid lane ban so that they could have an easier time in lane. And then Shen gets banned. I mean, as I said earlier, it's most likely that Lyon Gaming put this Maokai in the jungle, so it's not bad to be safe and just put in that. Yep, as I said, Syndra was still open. Lyon Gaming takes the Syndra. Really strong laner, and pretty effective if you want to blind pick a mid laner. They are leaving the counter matchup to the solo lane up top. Now WE needs that engage. So for a reliable form of engage, they pick Gragas, which still isn't nearly enough engage for what I would like their team to have. But, well, it's at least now they have some form of engage with the Gragas. They have the casket, they have the whatever his E is called, the belly mashing thing. Now they gotta show their mid laner. Team WE, what are they gonna pick against the Syndra? They're picking a Corki. I think that's like a really confidence pick because I know Syndra smashes Corki in lane. But if Corki outlasts the lane without dying too much and stay in the back line while they grind through these tanks in the front line, Corki can out DPS Syndra in the long run. So I believe WE, although Kog'Maw is like a really late game carry, the Syndra doesn't do as much as the Corki. So like in the long run, WE just has like a late game comp that is gonna eventually scale harder than Lyon Gaming's comp. Lyon Gaming's comp is like really iffy because I mean Lee Sin could do the early game jungling, put the Syndra ahead, pull through to like the mid game where WE hasn't scaled yet and like Kog'Maw has started scaling. Sure, but like I don't really think they're stronger than WE in the early game. And then after this like mid lane time, in the late game, they're still gonna get outscaled by WE. So it's a really hard comp to execute in general for them against a higher region team. All WE has to do is to win the early game and smash them early, or win the early game with the goal lead they have early game, last till the late game and smash them late game, or if they lose the early game, they could try to stall the game out, last until the late game, and smash them late game. WE has a lot of options. Lyon Gaming does have this more reliable form of engage in terms of Maokai with the point-click engages. But they really got to pull out magic in some of these mid-game team fights if they want to win this game. I am heavily in favor of the comp Team WE has. like I know it sounds like I'm just rooting for the stronger team, but if this was a ranked game and I was to choose a team to go in without knowing which team's playing which, I would just go with Team W's team comp. I would much like to play in that team comp compared to what Lyon Gaming has. Starters seem relatively normal except for the potion on Maokai. I do not really believe that's an effective item because they're two tanks. They won't be smacking each other too much. Of course, the sustain's there, but like can't really utilize the burn damage from the potions. But I'm sure he has some uses into this potion, or either that, or he just wants 3 potions to sustain through lane. And now there's the mid lane matchup. As I said, Syndra is just naturally gonna be more powerful than Corki in lane if both people play it properly. So Corki kind of has to outlast the Syndra. I'm kind of surprised Sia didn't take Cleanse in case Syndra wants to just stun him and burst him down. But if he feels confident about dodging all these CC, I guess heal is good. In the bottom lane matchup, Ancient Coin recently has been having like amazing drop rate for gold. So if Braum can't really, if like really nothing happens and both supports just collect gold, like there's just gonna be a building gold lead towards the Janna. It's like the Ancient Coin is just an OP item right now in terms of gold drop rate. Now Audi making okay, so now Syndra stuns him, but Syndra's got no mana. So I don't see any of them really dying here. Audi was making a trip bottom lane, but now he's coming mid. He wants to give the Syndra the lane lead, but his Q absolutely misses, and he gets nothing done. Condi's been stealing Raptors, and he hits Lee Sin. Red buff burns away on him, doing a little bit of damage, like not really significant. 957 collapsing. The belly bump hits, but I don't think they can collapse on that. Audi gets out alive. Condi's oddly enough giving pressure to an early game jungler Lee Sin. If Lee Sin doesn't do much early game, he becomes increasingly powerless. Audi's hitting back on Condi. Both mid laners are coming, but Sia's really unhealthy right now. So Condi wants no more of it. "957 headed back top. I believe Condi wants to continue counter jungling just to give Audi a hard time. And smites the golems. Audi's gonna be like, why you doing this to me? Well, this Gragas feels like an uninvited guest who just came to the party to hoard all the alcohol. Ben and Mystic so far doing not too bad in lane. Only a few CS behind. They're gonna catch up once they catch this wave that's pushing in. Both bottom lanes seems to have backed, although it wasn't caught on screen. Teleport used on the side of Lyon Gaming on Giral. He went to get a Doran's Ring and also refilled all of his potions from the corrupting pots. Now, Cho'Gath has a teleport advantage, although I don't think he can use it on anything significant here. We will see how this play out. Typically, the last teleport you want to use for yourself that way is generally for 6 minutes. And this was like a borderline 6-minute teleport. Mystic throwing out some quills, not doing much. And both junglers are just clearing their camps. Not going too far from mid lane. WE's bottom lane is like pushing in, really trying to harass because their jungler is down on the bottom side, so they know if something pops up, their jungler can run to them. Whereas Lyon Gaming kind of has to stay on their tower because Lee Sin's on the top side, and I don't think Lee Sin's going to come anytime soon if something happens in the bottom lane. So WE really knows when to pressure and deal some damage to the carries. Both teams trade quite a bit of damage there. Both bottom laners on Lyon Gaming suffering a bit of damage, but then WE has low, like half health on Mystic. Mystic seems pretty low, although he's not in any imminent danger right now. Audie looking for a mid lane gank, I'm assuming, and decides against it. He's gifting the blue buff over to Syndra, like most pros do, unlike in your solo queue where junglers never give out buffs. 957 trying to 4-ball spike against Giral again, which barely tickles him. They're both tanks. CA also gets a nice blue buff gift so that he can spam more skills in lane and harass whatever return and give back whatever return damage he can give back if he gets a chance to do so onto Seiya. Audie spots a deep ward from WE, gets rid of it. Now WE knows that Lee Sin was at top side, getting rid of that ward. What can Connie do to abuse this? Connie goes into counter jungle and W's blue side jungle. Either that or I assume it's a bottom lane dive. Lane's pushed in. W chooses to go for dragon instead. CA also coming down to the dragon pit. Lyon Gaming spots this. I'm assuming they're gonna collapse, but dragon's almost over already. Condi takes down the dragon. First blood on the side of Lyon Gaming. It's really odd because WE like really focused on the objective, getting it down and taking it away. Then they just left Condi in the pit. They didn't want to fight. they know if they scale, they're gonna win Lyon Gaming in the long run. So they just wanna not fight and give away the kill for the dragon. Stacking up objectives will generally work well for them in the late game. Whereas Lyon Gaming is really more focused on the fight. They want the kills, they want to win these little fights to get ahead rather than the objectives that WE was already almost completed by the time Lyon Gaming got into the scene. The dragon was fairly low when Lyon Gaming spotted that they were doing it. A reset on the map. I'm assuming the game is going to be quiet with peace and calm for another few minutes. Corky going for that little bit of magic resist with the Sheen and the Phage for the Triforce. This Corky really has an easier time in the matchup once he gets a Hex Striker, so he generally wants a Hex Striker and Trinity Force for his power spikes. On the other hand, this Kog'Maw is most likely going for a Guinsoo's Rage Blade. And Mystic is building Essence Reaver, I'm assuming. Yep, some more bottom lane harass. I'm not a really fan of what Mystic is doing here in terms of both build and play. Is this really hard for him to duel the bottom lane because he has Janna? You can't really choose what timing you want to engage on. Janna is more like a disengage champion than engage champion. And if you use the snare to engage, you can't pull the feathers during the engage unless the engage lasts really long. So the bottom lane can't really find an edge onto the Kog'Maw and the Braum. So he's going to try to dive this bottom tower. Nope, Lyon Gaming backs up. And that's a free first tower for WE. Wants to deny as much minions as possible. So that's first turret. So WE is really focusing on these objectives. I'm also not a fan of what Mystic's building here because, of course, first item Essence Reaver was really good, but you don't want Caulfield's Warhammer that early. I would have went for like the items for Berserker's Greaves and just put the Caulfield Warhammer at 2 longswords. It's generally more effective in lane. But he completes the Essence Reaver on the spec, so it doesn't matter anymore. He's also got 2 daggers for his attack speed. Of course, Janna gets her Ardent Sensor now. That's going to be a really nice buff for Mystic to deal damage with. Of course, early sights on Braum for division. Jirel ults for, I believe, clearing the minion wave. He's trying to bite time in the top lane. Lyon Gaming hitting the bottom tower. Lyon Gaming got the tower first, so I'm assuming that's why Jirel ulted there. I don't think it has done much though, because the tower's eventually going to get taken by WE. And it wasn't like it was a first tower race. And turret's destroyed. Rift Herald being done by WE, but Lyon Gaming, if they have something to say about this. TP coming in from 957. Rift Herald is already taken. The 957 is almost dead. They take too long. Sia immediately slays Audi, but he might be in a bit of trouble. Sintra doesn't kill him, oddly. That's just a 1-for-1, and Team W takes the Rift Herald. They're having a slight gold lead. Let's see if WE can snowball this lead for them to last through the mid game, where Lyon Gaming has a good chance of winning some of these team fights. Again, WE not focusing on the fight. They're all getting out after doing the Drake. Whoever lives, lives. I don't think they're having any casual... Mystic staying, oddly. I think both of them are going to... Nice stun from Syndra. And yeah, both of them are just dead. WE just completely backed out and conceded from the fight. But Mystic slightly overstayed instead of leaving Ben to be just near their spot, so both of them end up dying after Syndra's amazing stun. WE still wants to protect this tower though. 3v5. But somehow in some way, Lyon Gaming backs off, and WE holds on to this tower for another minute. The fight-oriented style from Lyon Gaming and the objective-oriented style from WE really shows their colors here. Right here, where Ben gets snared. Mystic stays to deal more damage, gets stunned by the Cinder and gets wiped out. The last Kog'Maw ultimate sniping her down. Sniping him down. Like, the extra damage Mystic didn't really mean much there, so... I don't know why Mystic stayed. Ben could have just stood there in place because he was snared anyway. Buy some time for Mystic and Mystic just walk out. Maybe they could have had one less casualty. Now a little bit of a skirmish. Oh, another nice stun by Syndra. Mystic's already at half health. They had a little bit of skirmish in the jungle for some vision. But you can see how much damage this Syndra is doing at this point in time in the game. Sia going back, using this time to go back to base. Top wave is pushing out for Lyon Gaming. Someone has to go and reply. First item, Spirit Spices on Giral for the healing. And Lee Sin's also getting some magic resist. With them, so that means they're still susceptible to getting a lot of damage from Mystic. So WE really needs Mystic to come online in some of these fights. Cut through the front lines. Baron coming live. I don't think either team is in a position to do anything about it though. And as I said, Corky's completed a Hex Drinker and his Trinity Force. He now feels way more comfortable in systems and can deal a lot of damage as well. He also has a Zeal on top of it. This is where Lion Gaming has to be careful. Because if the carries just sit on the back line and hit each other's tanks, WWE is going to win. Lion Gaming has to find an access to the back line to wipe out some of these carries if they want to win a fight. I'm going to turn on my AC here. A heated battle over a rift scuttle. Sure, some vision is nice, but it's more really about how neither team wants to lose. They feel better by taking the rift scuttle. They feel like they have won something. I think it's just like a mental state between the players. Good mentality is as important as skills in really high ELO games. Kog'Maw sitting on 2 items. If he completes another core item, he will come online. And both of Lion Gaming's carries, they haven't died a single time yet. So Lion Gaming's obviously doing a good job in protecting their carries. Either that or WWE is really not committed to killing them yet. If Kog'Maw comes online, and if Syndra assassinates one of WWE's carries, Lion Gaming still has a fairly decent chance of winning some of these skirmishes. Or even a 5-on-5 team fight. It's not that late in the game. Both teams confront each other at mid. (957) with the flash. Condi trying to go in from the side. Neither engage works. No, WWE kind of ran out of engage. Maokai coming in. And 957 just gets deleted. Mystic Line's a nice feather, but it doesn't really kill anyone. Everyone on Lion Gaming is low. Oh my god! WE was about to really turn it around because all Lion Gaming's health bar was so low. Then Syndra lands this amazing 3-man stun, letting White Lotus with his with his Runan's Hurricane to deal damage to WE's entire team. And with White Lotus coming online with the damage, they win the team fight. However, they're way too low to do this Baron. You just end up wasting time. Lion Gaming keeps winning these fights, which I think is really amazing. However, when they win, by the time they win, they are not really in condition to take an objective, either because one, WWE has already taken it off the table, or two, it's because they aren't really in the health condition to take them. But if Lion Gaming keeps winning these fights, it's eventually going to start converting into objectives. And once it does, WWE is going to start losing in objectives and the fights. This is not what WWE want. This is not what you want to This is not what you want to happen if you're WWE. Sorry, my tongue got a bit twisted there. And look at all this damage from the Syndra in this last team fight. That multi-people AoE stun with the ball just did a lot of damage. He did the most damage in the game. Props to Seiya for his Syndra plays. I can kind of see that WE has like the superior macro, arguably, but Lion Gaming they just simply have a room for these outplays. that keep bringing them back in the game. And if they can continue this play, who's to say that they aren't going to win this game? They have a fair chance of doing this. A really strong display of skill from Lyon Gaming. Condi already being chopped down. White Lotus taking down the Drake. WE doesn't really want to contest. As long as Zaya can't come online, WE has a lot of room that they give to Lyon Gaming to make out plays. Another fight going on. Jabral immediately gets obliterated. I didn't see what just happened there, but he obviously got caught out. Casket catches out Gentix. And boom, he just melted like a popsicle in a hot summer day. I believe Lyon Gaming was around the Baron area and got caught out by Team WE there. And Jabral, you really don't have the items to mitigate Mystic's damage yet. So you don't want to be in the front line for too long at this stage of the game without your team backing you up. The map resetting once more. WE sending their bottom lane up top and their top lane at bottom. Generally what you do so that your bottom lane can utilize their TP to come to Baron. This means that they are keeping this Baron in mind. And Lyon Gaming pisses off the Baron so that the Baron hits Mystic. Feels bad. But WE, they're pushing Lyon Gaming out and setting vision. Potentially Baron setup and a bait. With the nice quirky package, well, I think Lyon Gaming got caught out, but 957 gets wiped out. They're too focused on chasing Audi. Of course, it's still going to be a 1-for-1 trade because I don't see any way Audi's going to live. And, oh, no. Sia picks that one up. 1-for-1 trade. But they take so long in killing Audi that Lyon Gaming has enough time to just power through this mid lane turret. Lyon Gaming just bops 957 first. And then takes the time between their tank dying and WE's tank dying. They take the time discrepancy between the two. They stretch that and get a mid lane tower for it. An objective. Finally, they're getting objectives. That's a positive change for Lyon Gaming if they want to win this game. But WE, they're setting up for Baron once again. They haven't given up on this play. You want to keep denying vision from Lyon Gaming. Now they're starting up Baron. Lyon Gaming has no vision inside the pit. Are they going to commit? Team WE finishes off the Baron. But Seiya wipes out Yup. 3 of their members got wiped out there at the Baron, because Lyon Gaming was more committed to the fight than contesting the Baron itself. I have no idea if this will be good or bad in the long run, but WE has the Baron buff on Sia and 957, while Lyon Gaming has numbers advantage for the time being. And Lyon Gaming gets another objective. Inner tower for mid. That opens up more of the map for Lyon Gaming, so not a bad decision. Well, after what happened at Baron. Ben just got blown up, and now they don't really have a method to disengage. And you can't count the Syndra out. She's just gonna press R and blow these supports out. Gotta watch out if you're Ben. Lyon Gaming gaining vision on the bottom side. They might want this Inferno for some of these future fights. They do not want to be outscaled by Team WE. Fight breaking out. Condi dies way too early here, separated. And their front line is entirely wiped out. Team WE, both of their carries are still alive though. I don't think Lyon Gaming wants to fight this. They're just gonna be content with the Inferno Drake and back out. Bad positioning for Team WE. Why was Condi behind the dragon? Caught out on his own. He got focused down so quickly that he wasn't really even a factor in this team fight. Look at where Condi was. He went in there to dodge the Maokai ult, but got rooted anyway. He got wiped out so quick that in the continuation of the fight, it was essentially just a 4v5. Of course, WE did a good job in protecting their carries and lasted the fight out, but Lyon Gaming gets the Inferno Drake out of it. I still like WE's vision line a bit more than Lyon Gaming. They still have the gold lead, and they're looking to set up more vision around the map. Gargoyle Stoneplate completed on the side of WE on Cho'Gath. This time it's Lyon Gaming on the back foot. They are surrounding the Baron Pit, trying to make something happen. But I don't know if they really want to fight around an objective here. Lyon Gaming has to be really careful they don't have the vision. WE is the team with the vision around this Baron Pit. Team WE goes straight down. Cosmos gets the top hitter. The WE now knows where Kog'Maw is. Tries to pressure mid lane. But they don't get anything out of it, so that's a free tower for Lyon Gaming. Really a bit of indecisiveness coming from Team WE. If they saw Kog'Maw at top, they could have just went for an engage at mid. Because there's no way Kog'Maw is going to teleport and be there on time if a fight happens. Lyon Gaming crowded around the mid lane again, trying to gain wave pressure. And the two teams meet up at mid. Baron spawns. Lyon Gaming trying to rush it down. They're using it to force WE to come and contest this Baron. And then they commit to the fight. The fight breaks out. Lyon Gaming started this fight. And wow, there's no casualties, although it was a really close fight. Now it's WE's turn to force the Baron. Teleport cancel from Lyon Gaming. That means they're most likely going to give up this Baron. WE are just way too healthy for them to contest it. And now WE grabs the Baron that Lyon Gaming has started. That was a bit of a forced fight start from Lyon Gaming that they couldn't really win. If the Baron was that low and they didn't feel like they could win a like team fight against WE, they should have just continued focusing down the Baron, take it, and try to disengage, back out. I know it's hard with the team comp they have, but if they got out with whoever had the Baron buff installed like WE did earlier, I feel like they could have done slightly better than what they did just now. To just give over that Baron buff. Team WE pressuring that mid tower with the Baron buff. Do you feel confident? The dragon, the elder dragon and the Baron, all these buffs giving WE the edge to push into Lyon's base. The mid lane tower slowly chipping down. WE still got time on the buffs, so they're gonna just wait for the next minion wave to come. Pushing in, and mid lane tower falls, and all of a sudden, Lyon Gaming is losing an inhibitor. Of course, this is like a double-edged sword where Lion Gaming gains more gold with mid lane automatically pushing in for them. But I think WE has more than enough skills to abuse this super minion wave going in and make it into use it into further snowballing. You gotta feel bad if you're Lion Gaming. Although it's already also it's already 40 something minutes into the game. For all the items they're building, Lee Sin's not being much more than a utility meat shield. If he fails his kickback, he's just a meat shield. And just Cho'Gath and like Gragas, they're just much better at the job than Lee Sin. Of course, the Maokai is a fairly good tank, but WE just has stronger tanks. Also, with the double AD carry, WE has the more DPS in the long term. This is where Syndra's weakness will start to show. These late game team fights is what WE wants, and and the games keep dragging on to the point where WE would like it to be. And Lyon can't really do anything about it because WE was the one who got the Baron buff and the Herald of the Dragon and was sieging. They didn't have much options but to stall the game out. But stalling the game out is what WE wants, which is why it's a lose-lose situation for Lyon Gaming. Team WE smashing another turret. They're just looking much stronger than their counterparts right now. Two-man stun on the tanks did absolutely nothing but tickle them. Mystic was pretty low, but he's just gonna lifesteal it all straight back up. Now, as Lyon Gaming, you really don't want to lose a second inhibitor. That means next Baron is also going to be over to WE. And eventually WE is just going to slowly choke you to death. You have to be decisive. You have to win another team fight and protect this inhibitor if you're Lyon Gaming. WE does not want to give that breathing room. They're going to pressure. Say has really acting on this Cinder skills today. But it's not going to do them much good if they can't capitalize on them. Another team fight between WE and Lyon confirms that WE is going to take the Lyon bottom inhibitor. And now it's really hard for Lyon Games to defend their base. And contest some of these objectives at the same time. Middle lane and inhibitor spawn for Lyon Gaming. Now everybody's sitting on these 6 items. And this is where WE wants to make a finishing move, nail the coffin in. And the place they chose as the final team fight is going to be the Baron. Giral has teleport. He's going to try to port in. But the Baron's really low. Sia going to the back lines. They found access to the back line. Sia's doing red buff, healing up. The fight doesn't look good. He comes over the wall and oh my god. Brilliant play from the Quirky. He packaged through the team, dealing damage with it like a Rumble ultimate, and kept kiting and damaging the backline from behind their team. Went to the red, healed himself back up, came over the wall unexpectedly, and dealt more damage. That just won them the team fight. And that's going to be the end of it. Team WE defeats Lyon Gaming on what I've heard is the first game of MSI. First game of Worlds 2017, sorry. Props to WECN on the last team fight. That was one of the best quick positionings I've ever seen.